Hello and welcome everyone. In this video, we're going to delve into a key aspect of diabetes management, its emotional landscape. Living with diabetes, it's not just about managing physical symptoms, it's also about navigating emotional challenges and developing resilience. Let's begin. First, we have to understand how closely intertwined diabetes and mental health are. Conditions like diabetes distress, depression, anxiety, and eating disorders, these are common among people living with diabetes. Diabetes distress describes the burden, stress, and frustration that come with managing a chronic disease every day. Depression and anxiety disorders can result from the constant management tasks or fear of complications. Eating disorders can stem from a complex relationship with food and weight control, particularly in type 1 diabetes. All these conditions can further complicate diabetes management, leading to a challenging cycle. Living with diabetes can bring about a range of emotions. You might feel frustrated with fluctuating blood sugar levels or dietary restrictions. You might experience guilt when you fall off your care regimen or when your health doesn't improve as you'd hope. The fear of potential complications can be a constant stressor. And you might feel isolated, especially if you don't know others sharing similar experiences. Understanding these feelings is the first step towards managing them. So what can you do to manage these emotional changes? I'd like to talk about the following: coping mechanisms, support networks, therapies, building emotional resilience, and burnout. Let's now shift gears and focus on a crucial part of our discussion: coping mechanisms. Life, as we know it, doesn't stop for diabetes. And that's why we want to ensure that we have the right tools and techniques in our kit to manage the emotional changes that come our way. Remember, it's okay to have moments of frustration, stress, and fear. They're natural reactions to dealing with a chronic condition like diabetes. But what's crucial is how we respond to these feelings. And that's where coping mechanisms come in. Let's start with stress management techniques. One of the most powerful tools you can use in moments of stress or anxiety is deep breathing. It sounds simple, but the impact can be profound. It helps lower your heart rate, it helps lower your blood pressure, and can create a sense of calm. So the next time you find yourself stressing about your blood sugar levels, take a moment. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, hold it for a few seconds, and then breathe out. Another technique you might find useful is progressive muscle relaxation. This involves tensing and then releasing different muscle groups in your body, starting from your toes and then working your way up to your head. This technique can help you become more aware of physical sensations and achieve a state of deep relaxation. It can be very helpful if you're having trouble sleeping due to stress or anxiety. Guided imagery is another powerful tool. This technique involves creating calming, peaceful images in your mind. You might imagine a beautiful beach, or a serene forest, or a place that makes you feel relaxed and happy. It can be a great way to take a mental vacation from the stress of managing diabetes. Now let's talk about the power of regular physical activity and a healthy diet. Regular exercise not only helps with blood sugar control, but also boosts your mood. It reduces your stress and improves your sleep. It doesn't have to be a strenuous workout. You can go for a brisk walk. This can do wonders for your emotional well-being. Similarly, a balanced diet can keep your blood sugar levels stable and your mood uplifted. And if you find that your stress or anxiety levels are becoming overwhelming, it might be worth considering CBT, also known as cognitive behavioral therapy. This is a type of talk therapy that helps you understand and change thought patterns that lead to harmful behaviors or emotional distress. So for example, if you're experiencing diabetes distress, CBT can help you challenge and change the negative thoughts contributing to this distress. In all of this, remember, it's okay to seek the help, it's okay to have tough days, and it's okay to take one step at a time. As we adopt these coping mechanisms, we're not just surviving with diabetes, we're thriving, we're taking control, and we're living our lives to the fullest. Having delved into the importance of coping mechanisms, let's now turn our attention to a key pillar of managing the emotional side of diabetes, the power of support networks. Remember, Our connections with others can often be our greatest source of strength, especially when dealing with diabetes. First and foremost, never underestimate the role of your immediate circle. These are your family and these are your friends. They're your cheerleaders. They're your confidants, your sounding boards. Don't hesitate to share your journey with them. Discuss your successes, the challenges, including your fears. Often, if you simply voice your concerns, they can lighten your emotional burden. And who knows, they might come up with practical suggestions, or their encouraging words might spark new motivation for you. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed by meal planning and prep, maybe a family member can step in to help. Or if you're finding it hard to motivate yourself to exercise, perhaps a friend could become your workout buddy. Next, there's your healthcare providers. They're not just there to monitor your A1C levels or prescribe medications. They're also there to support you in your journey. You want to keep them informed about your emotional well-being. So if you're struggling, let them know. They can guide you to resources, refer you to a mental health professional, or simply provide a listening ear. Your regular checkups aren't just about numbers. They're also about you as a person. And don't forget about diabetes support groups. There's something incredibly powerful about connecting with others who get it. Support groups, whether in person or online, they can provide you with a space to share your experiences. You learn from others and you feel understood. You can share tips and tricks, discuss challenges, or celebrate victories. It can be a beautiful reminder that you're not alone. For example, you might find a local support group where members meet regularly for walks or runs, fostering physical wellness while providing emotional support. Or an online group could provide 24/7 access to a community of individuals facing the same challenges and triumphs. They're ready to lend an understanding ear or share advice. And finally, I want to touch on the power of connection. Connecting with others can provide emotional validation, practical advice, and the strength to face challenges. And remember, as much as you might benefit from your support network, you can provide the same support for others. You too can be someone's source of comfort, motivation, and guidance. So as we continue our journey in managing diabetes, let's remember to lean on each other. Let's celebrate our wins together, lift each other during challenging times, and continue to learn from one another. As we transition into the next phase of our discussion, let's embark on a critical journey, the exploration of psychological therapies and their role in managing diabetes. Remember, mental well-being is as important as physical health in managing diabetes, and psychological therapies, they provide practical tools to navigate emotional challenges. First is cognitive behavioral therapy, also known as CBT. It's a well-established therapy used for various mental health conditions, including depression, anxiety, both of which can be common in people with diabetes. But what does it involve? At its core, CBT works by helping you understand the link between our thoughts, feelings, and actions. It equips you with strategies to change harmful thought patterns and consequently influence your emotions and behaviors. So for example, if you're struggling with feelings of guilt every time your blood sugar levels are high, a CBT therapist might help you identify these negative thought patterns and work towards replacing them with healthier thoughts. This will help reduce your guilt and increase your confidence in managing your diabetes. Next, we have acceptance and commitment therapy, also known as ACT. ACT focuses on helping individuals accept their experiences rather than avoiding them, helps them connect with their values and commit to behavior that aligns with those values. This therapy can be particularly helpful for individuals feeling overwhelmed by the demands of diabetes care. In practice, this might mean recognizing the challenges of diabetes management and accepting that it can be difficult and acknowledging that some days might be tougher than others. It involves choosing to pursue actions aligned with your values, such as prioritizing your health despite challenges. Lastly, let's talk about psychoeducation. As the name suggests, it involves educating individuals about their mental health conditions, potential triggers, coping strategies, and treatment options. In the context of diabetes, psychoeducation can help individuals understand the links between diabetes and emotional well-being, and it can provide practical strategies for managing both. So for example, A psychoeducation session might explain the relationship between blood sugar levels and mood, helping you understand why you might feel irritable when your sugar levels are high. Understanding this link can make it easier to identify these patterns in your own experiences and manage your responses better. So remember, seeking therapy isn't a sign of weakness. Rather, it's a testament to your strength and commitment to manage your diabetes in the best possible way. Psychological therapies can equip you with valuable tools to navigate your emotional journey with diabetes. If you're considering this path, reach out to your healthcare provider who can guide you towards the most appropriate resources. The last thing I want to talk about is developing emotional resilience. This is akin to building a house. It doesn't happen overnight and it requires the right tools. But once your house is built, it becomes your safe haven, allowing you to weather the storms that diabetes may bring. So let's dive deep into how to build this fortress of resilience. One of the foundational stones of resilience is maintaining a positive mindset. Now, that doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it means focusing on your strengths and successes, no matter how small they seem. Did you choose a piece of fruit over a sugary snack today? Celebrate it. Did you manage to take a small walk even though you felt tired? That's a victory. Each positive step is a brick in your fortress of resilience. Another cornerstone is self-care. Just like a house needs regular maintenance, so does your emotional well-being. Engage in activities that make you feel good. Engage in activities that help you relax and bring joy. This could be reading a book, going for a nature walk, practicing yoga, or even having a relaxing bubble bath. Prioritizing time for yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary maintenance for your emotional fortress. Regularly reach out to family and friends. Join social activities or clubs or become part of an online community. Let's not forget the power of laughter and fun in building resilience. Even the strongest fortresses have a door to let things in and out. It's really important to acknowledge your emotions, both good and bad, as they come. Feeling frustrated, angry, or sad doesn't mean your fortress is crumbling. It means you're human. Recognize these emotions, let them in, then gently guide them out. Remember, it's okay to have bad days. They're just opportunities to learn and grow stronger. As you work on building your fortress of emotional resilience, remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There may be days when the construction seems to stall, and that's okay. Reach out for support when you need it. Keep adding bricks of positivity, self-care, and connection, and never forget that every fortress starts with a single brick. Building emotional resilience is a dynamic, rewarding process. It's about enhancing your capacity to handle the ups and the downs living with diabetes, providing you with strength, stability, and most importantly, a sense of control and hope. From our journey through emotional well-being and diabetes management, it's clear that this chronic condition can sometimes feel very overwhelming. As we navigate blood sugar checks, dietary changes, exercise regimens, and so much more, there may come a point when it just feels like too much. This feeling is often referred to as diabetes burnout. But remember, you're not alone, and there are ways to address and alleviate this burnout. So how do you recognize burnout? The signs can be subtle. Maybe you're skipping blood sugar checks, or perhaps you're not meticulous with your diet as you used to be. You might feel a persistent sense of fatigue, frustration, or hopelessness. It's essential to recognize these signs and understand that it's okay to feel this way sometimes. It's all a part of the journey. Now that we can identify the signs of burnout, let's talk about acceptance. It might sound counterintuitive, but one of the first steps to dealing with burnout is acknowledging it. It's about saying to yourself, yeah, I'm feeling overwhelmed and that's okay. This acceptance isn't about resignation. Instead, it's about recognizing your feelings as valid and understandable. Seeking support is an integral part of addressing burnout. This could involve turning to your healthcare provider and discussing your feelings of burnout. It could also mean reaching out to your support network, sharing your struggles, and seeking their understanding and encouragement. For example, perhaps a friend can accompany you to the grocery store. This can make your meal planning more enjoyable. Or maybe a family member can enjoy your evening walk, making exercise feel less of a chore. Next, let's focus on self-care, an often overlooked but critical element in managing burnout. This could be as simple as setting aside time each day to relax and unwind, maybe through reading, meditating, or taking a soothing bath. It might mean allowing yourself small indulgences without guilt, like enjoying a favorite meal or dessert in moderation, of course. Or perhaps it's about finding joy in physical activities that you love, turning exercise from a task into a treat. Last, let's consider realistic and achievable goals. Burnout can oftentimes feel that the goalposts are always moving or always out of reach. It's important to remember that diabetes management is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You don't have to do things perfectly each and every time. Setting smaller, attainable goals can help alleviate the pressure and provide a sense of accomplishment. So for example, instead of aiming for a drastic diet overhaul, start by incorporating one extra serving of vegetables into your meals every day. Addressing diabetes burnout involves recognizing it, accepting it, seeking support, and focusing on self-care, and also setting realistic goals. Remember, it's okay to have challenging days or periods of burnout. The key is to acknowledge these feelings and take active steps to address them.